Hey everyone, welcome to your practice. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ben Oliveri, and this is going to be a 20-minute, pretty quick, gentle practice for opening your hips. So, whether you spend a lot of time sitting at your desk job or just went for a run or a workout, anything like that, really just if you're a human being and use your hips quite often, like we all do, then this class will be a really good one for you. You don't need any props at all. Like I said, just quick 20-minute practice to open up the hips, and we will go ahead and start in a child's pose. We'll get a little bit of inner hips. We will do a little bit of front of hip with the hip flexors and a bit of outer hip work as well. So for child's pose, widen your knees. If as wide as the mat feels like too much on your inner thighs, you bring them a little more narrow. And walk your hands forward, rest your head down. And begin to notice sensations along the inner thighs, the inner groin. Doesn't matter if these areas feel tight or not. If they do, no big deal. It's a really good thing that you're doing this practice. So just noticing sensations without any judgment, just observing what's going on in the inner hips, the low back. And about 30 more seconds here. Find some stillness and try to bring your attention to your breathing for the next 30 seconds. Feeling the abdomen expand towards the inner thighs as you inhale. Feeling the low back softening as you exhale. A couple more breaths like that. And then after your next exhale, go ahead and press yourself up through all fours. Set your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And extend your right foot back. And just start to take a few pulses into the ball of your foot to get into the hamstrings and the back of the leg. Take a couple more breaths as you rock back and forth, maybe going a little bit deeper. And then lift your right leg off of the ground, dial the right pinky toes down. Little press of the mat away. Notice if the low belly wants to dip. If that's the case, press the mat away. Feel like you're separating the shoulder blades. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, bring your right foot across your body to the left side of your mat. So you're on the toes or the ball of your foot. Few breaths here. You can stay looking forward if that's better for your neck, or you could gaze past your left shoulder. You might play with dropping your heel a little bit closer to the earth to get into the hamstrings a bit more. Just take a couple more breaths. And then go ahead and extend your right foot behind you again. And then bring it off to your right side this time. And really press down through the pinky edge of your foot so you can feel the outer hip and IT band start to turn on. Then root down through your left hand, reach your right arm up, and stretch it forward. So we're getting a stretch along the side body here by reaching the right arm forward, spiraling the rib cage open. And you'll feel that sensation in the IT band if you can press down through the pinky edge of your right foot. Take 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and make your way back through a tabletop position, and we'll find the other side. Left foot back, just a few pulses. You can be on the palms. If the wrists want to break at any point, you could come to the knuckles. I'm just taking a few more slow pulses, feeling into the calves and the hamstrings. And lift your left leg off of the ground. Dial the left pinky toes down if that left hip wants to turn up. If the low belly feels like it's dipping a bit, press the mat away to find that core strength. Take one more inhale here. Then your exhale brings the left foot across the body, comes off of your mat. Come to the toes, maybe the ball of the foot. Same option with the head. You can look forward. If it's okay for your neck, you can gaze past the right shoulder. Try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe the heel drops a little bit closer for the last couple breaths. Next inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left foot off to your left side. Press down through the pinky edge of the left foot. Press down through your right hand, left arm up. And then bicep roughly over the ear as you stretch your left arm forward. Keep rooting down through the pinky edge of your left foot. Little spiral the rib cage open towards whatever's above you. Gonna take 2 more breaths here. Good, then go ahead and make your way back through a tabletop position. Bring your hands towards the top of your mat. Spread your fingers out wide and curl your toes under to come through a down dog. The pedal of the feet might feel nice here, especially if you're doing this practice in the morning. The calves tend to be some of the tighter muscles after we wake up. So you might take these pedals. You might find a little sticky spot that needs a little more attention. Pause there. And from your downward facing dog, let's find a few breaths in stillness. So set your feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. And just focus on pressing your hips up, thighs and shins back in your down dog. Couple more breaths here. Let the head drop. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Drop your back knee. Right hand, right knee, left hand on top. If you would like to use a blanket, if you have some props at home, if that left knees are a little more sensitive, you can put a blanket underneath there. Either way, take an inhale with your right knee over your right ankle. Then on your exhale, start to sink down into your right thigh. So it doesn't really matter how far the thigh drops down to the earth. We're just trying to find a sensation where we can feel the sensation in the front of the leg, the thigh, and soften through the rest of your body. So taking a handful of breaths here. Relax the shoulders by just letting the palms rest gently on the knee. Soften the gaze, relax the jaw. Take 2 more breaths here. Then press into your right heel to come back up. Bring your hands inside your right foot and heel toe your right foot off to the right edge of your mat to set up for lizard. So you're probably feeling this in both hip flexors, right and left here. If you would like a little more sensation in the left, you can wiggle the back knee back any amount. Sometimes just a couple inches will give you a little more sensation in that hip flexor. And your chest tracks slightly forward. If you're on the palms and you're feeling enough, no need to go any deeper. It could also be on the fists if your wrists want to break. If you are looking for more sensation, you can come down to the forearms. A lot going on in this pose. This pose works hamstrings, quads, and hip flexors. So when we have a pose like this where we are feeling a lot of sensation, which very well might be the case, and we want to feel the sensation where we're feeling it, And make an effort to soften through the rest of your body. So shoulders relaxed, jaw is soft, gaze is soft. Take a few more breaths. If you're on the forearms, come up to your palms. You're going to bring the ball of your right foot off of the mat. The heel will stay on your mat. I like to bring my back knee in just a touch to make the bind a little bit more accessible here. So bend your knee, reach around for the foot with the right hand. You can stay right here if the bind is not quite there for you. You still get a quad stretch here. Or you can catch the outside of the foot. If you do catch the outside of the foot, roll your chest open to the right and kick your foot into your hand to get a little deeper into the front of the thigh. Take 2 breaths here. Good, and then gently release that. And curl your left toes under. You can step your right foot back to downward facing dog. Maybe take one more pedal of the feet. It feels good to take a sway of the hip side to side. Maybe a shake of the head yes, shake of the head no. And go ahead and step your left foot forward in between your hands. Drop your back knee. You can either have palm on knee and then hand on hands, or you can rest the forearms here. I find that a little bit more passive, but totally up to you. Either way, take an inhale with knee over ankle. On your exhale, sink down into your left thigh. And if you do feel like this is a tight area for you, first of all, that's totally normal. Don't worry about it. And secondly, again, just notice what's going on in the mind as you find maybe a sticky spot in the body. If you can shift from, oh, this is a really tight area, why am I so tight, to just noticing, oh, there's sensation there, accepting it, can I soften elsewhere, then those muscles will definitely respond a little bit more effectively. So again, feel the sensation, just allow it however it is, see if you can relax the jaw, and come back to your breathing. One more full breath here, let the exhale complete on its own. And then press into your heel to bring knee back over ankle. Both hands to the inside of the left foot, left edge of your mat. You can play with bringing the right knee back any amount to increase sensation in the hip flexor. And again, you can be palms, fists, or forearms here. And if it works to let the head drop, and let the muscles of the neck soften, you're more than welcome to do that. And 3 more full unrushed breaths and your lizard. And after that third exhale, if you're on the forearms, come up to your palms. Ball of the left foot comes off your mat. The heel stays on your mat. Bend into your back knee. Reach around with the left hand. You can stay right here. If you have a strap, you could use that too. Or you can reach around, catch the outside of the foot. Notice when I catch the outside of my foot, I'm not turning my chest down. I'm going to roll the left shoulder open, kick the foot into my hand, reach the crown of my head forward to keep the neck nice and long, and take about 3 breaths into the quadriceps. And then slowly release that. Curl your right toes under and step it back, downward facing dog. Maybe another pedal of the feet. More than welcome to take a child's pose if you'd like. And from down dog, bring your right knee forward behind your right wrist to set up for pigeon. Let your shin angle wherever it wants to go. It might be more diagonal, like mine. It might be more like parallel to the front edge of your mat. Just don't try to force it in any position. You can be on the palms here. You could come down to the forearms if that's in your practice. And if this one doesn't work on your knees, or for your knees, you can be on your back and recline figure 4, crossing right ankle over left thigh. And allowing your right hip to drop down, even if it's not dropping in space. Just noticing as you exhale, especially maybe just a little softening in that area of the outer hip, even if it's just 2%. And taking about 30 more seconds here. Coming back to the breath each time the mind wanders. Using the breath as your anchor in your yoga practice. Couple more here. And then come back up onto the hands. If you're in reclined figure 4, you can just go ahead and switch the crossing of your legs. If you took pigeon, can feel good to straighten out that right leg, maybe pass through a down dog before the left side. And then left knee behind the left wrist. Again, if you want more sensation in the right hip flexor, you can always just wiggle the knee back a couple inches. And find your variation of the pose. And once you do find a spot that works for you, whether that means having the support of some props, being on the hands, being down on the forearms, whatever, just see if for the next 30 seconds or so that we're in this pose, if you can find stillness in the body to really let the pose, the gravity, the dropping of that outer hip do the work. And take 2 more breaths here, trying to let the exhales complete on their own without force or hurry. Then moving slowly, press yourself up. If you are in pigeon, you can straighten out that left leg in any fashion. Do that through seated, take a down dog if you'd like. And then we'll just finish with one pose on your back, reclined bound angle, soles of the feet will come together, knees open wide like a book. Hands can be wherever you'd like. You can rest the arms by your sides. Some people like to rest hands on inner thighs or on the abdomen, chest. Feel your breath. I'll just take a moment here before a couple minutes in Shavasana. And maybe just noticing any sensation in the hips. Maybe there's a little feeling of freedom in the hips, a little more space. Or maybe some shifts have even happened in the mind. Even after just 20 minutes of yoga, 20 minutes of focusing on the breath, bringing a little awareness to the body, just noticing any little shifts that have happened. No right answer. And then go ahead and extend your legs out long. So just take 2 minutes in Shavasana here. And allow the pinky edges of the feet to splay out, hands to rest beside you. I know it can be tempting in an online class to skip Shavasana. Don't do it. Don't skip your Shavasana. Just lie on the floor, take a couple minutes, let the effects of the practice set in, and then you can go on with your day. And really slowly starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a full body stretch, rock the head side to side, whatever feels good. Roll off to either side, press yourself up. No rush. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Hope you feel good. Hope your hips feel a little bit more open. I appreciate you practicing with me. My Instagram is down below. My Venmo is down below if you feel called to support me. And then, yeah, you can follow me on social media and keep up with the classes. I upload them every Sunday. And yeah, I appreciate If you like the video, if you press like, and definitely hit that subscribe button. It is super helpful to me. So thank you so much for your practice. Hope to see you again next time.